This is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, Remember the key to success is working hard.
Remember, the key to success is working hard, but also working smart. We need productivity now more than ever because Grenada must develop. Grenada must be transformed. Grenada must move forward. Our people must progress. Prosperity will come, opportunities will come, but we have to produce. We have to work hard, we have to work smart to see those things come to reality. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Again, we have a unique moment in time to reason. And this morning, I want to play for you a little portion of the press conference yesterday. It's about what, 5 or 6 minutes long, kind of summarizing the full package for the fisher folks and what is in store for those who depend on fishing as their livelihood, and also how coming together, how uniting can bring results. Because you see fisher folks, you see entrepreneurs, you see government, in other words, public-private partnership, you see all those things on display. The NNP is not happy with that because the NNP wants to go on the platform forever and ever and talk about the U.S. fish ban, although they're responsible for not doing anything about it in terms of fulfilling what the requirements were at the time and still is. Thank God the NDC came into power and they enacted what they're supposed to. They do what they're supposed to as required. But that request was made under the NNP and they refused to do it. So they are not happy that Grenada is getting access to other markets to sell the tuna, the yellowfin tuna, and other, type of fish and products. They are not happy about that because they want to go on their platform every week and complain, grind and groan, or say something about this fish ban as though it's one market in the whole world that the country can access. All right. And if we do what we're supposed to do, we can have a domestic market, a real domestic market where people can get fish at any time, just as you can get chicken in the shops at any time, and all types of chicken back, chicken wings, chicken neck, chicken feet, chicken breast, and we can go on and on. Thigh, and we can get the same thing in the same shops and supermarkets. Fish, fresh or the frozen ones. You go in developed countries and you get fresh fish, fresh, in ordinary supermarkets. We can do the same thing here because fish is way better than chicken. The chicken that we use that comes from outside, they were stored in containers for months and maybe even years before they get to Grenada, before they get on your dinner tables. So, look, we have an opportunity. How can we process the same fish? How can we sell it at a reduced cost? So maybe there can be some arrangement with the fisher folks, the association and that kind of thing. Subsidize gas, subsidize certain things. So when the fish comes in for the domestic market, the price will be cheaper. So you have it sold cheaper domestically. When you export it, then you have your price to export. So maybe that can be worked on, but opportunities are coming. Opportunities are coming. So let me play a little piece of that, the press conference yesterday, because I think you need to hear what is in store.
New measures aimed at returning longline fishermen to work and revitalizing the fisheries sector following the United States ban on the importation of fish and fish products from Grenada. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press conference, Minister for the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, the Honorable Lennox Andrews, outlined several initiatives implemented since the ban took effect on January 1st, 2026. The ban was imposed due to Grenada's failure to meet international standards established by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA, for the protection of marine mammals. Despite correspondence from the NOAA dating back to 2016, the required measures were not implemented, resulting in the suspension of exports to the U.S. market. The impact has been significant, with longline fishermen among the hardest hit. However, government says new market opportunities are now emerging. Minister Andrews announced that Grenada is pursuing export arrangements with Canada, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago, alongside other initiatives to stabilize and grow the sector.
One such measure is to request in writing to the financial institutions who have given loans to the fisher folks to offer them.
Right. I don't know why the volume is so low on this. I don't know why the volume is so low on this piece. I hope the folks on the radio, they're hearing me loud and clear, and the folks online, but it's very, very low. This piece that GIS did on this whole thing. And I want to again encourage the government to press GIS to be more efficient and to produce news items in real time or quicker than you have to stay for a very long time and then, coming to the end of the week, they do these new news pieces. Even if you do it in the news itself, cut it up and so people can share it and people can, have it to use to enlighten the Grenadian people home and abroad.
A moratorium on the debt servicing. We have requested the OECS Economic Affairs to seek regional markets and to have us on the agenda with a proposed meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister. And discussions are now ongoing with the People's Republic of China, who through the work of our ambassador in China has given us permission to export fish to China. And discussions are also ongoing with the government and people of Japan on the export of our fish to that country.
Chief Fisheries Officer Nigel Gibbs revealed that a new arrangement is being finalized with the government of Guyana for the export of 100,000 pounds of frozen yellowfin tuna to the market. The development follows a successful mission to Guyana by key ministry officials, and the matter is now before the Ministry of Trade to finalize details.
The Republic of Guyana is particularly interested in not just fish and fishery products, but also looking at trade in agriculture products with the state of Grenada. So to that way, we look at some of the low-hanging fruit, some of the products that we could normally supply on a regular basis, but more particularly and specifically to our tuna product that they can almost immediately start absorbing. And one of the reasons they claim is for the growing tourism sector and the lack of them having more marine-based resources regarding fish and fishery product that they could make available to their visitors and to the population. Following this discussion today, this press conference, another meeting will be held with officials from trade to start rolling out the local, our home-based protocol for establishing trade with Guyana, getting our fishermen on board, getting the fleets back out, establishing a clear path for transportation and all of the logistics, and then addressing the MOU between both states, which would be a bilateral arrangement.
Additionally, representatives of Grenada's Longline Fishermen Association, Hoyt Oliver, disclosed that the association is in advanced discussions with Trinidad and Tobago to export 20,000 pounds of yellowfin tuna on a bi-monthly basis.
It is something that is in process. It has, excellent opportunity to materialize shortly. In conversation with Mr. Mohammed yesterday, he assured us that everything is in place and hopefully can start collecting fish or buying fish from us by the end of this month. So we're hoping that by the middle of this month we might be able to send the boats out to start fishing again. It is a positive direction for the industry to find alternative markets than the U.S. market. And it's something that we at the Grenada Longliners Association is pursuing independently to government, but with the assistance of government in finding these alternative markets regionally and internationally. This is just the first of hopefully many to materialize, and as we're looking at getting started by the end of this month, looking to do up to 20,000 pounds of yellowfin tuna every 2 weeks. The gentleman would send a boat into Grenada to pick up chilled tuna that would be re-exported to Europe and Canada. And that is the undertaking that we are involved in directly presently.
Minister Andrews said the government is using the current situation as a learning opportunity to strengthen compliance and build a more sustainable and resilient fishing industry. He emphasized that corrective measures are being implemented to ensure Grenada meets international requirements moving forward.
We are giving full consideration to the construction of a modern fish processing plant to produce value-added made-in-Grenada fish products, such as sardines, dry fish, mackerel, etc. And bilateral and multilateral discussions have already begun on financing such a venture.
Several fisher folk in attendance at Wednesday's press conference welcomed the announcements, expressing optimism that the new market arrangements will provide much-needed relief for those affected by the export ban.
Today's meeting, we feel good as a boat owner. Know we could start back working within the next few weeks from now. It's a blessing. So we are happy. We need to share the good news with the rest of the boat owners. Let them know that things in place. Thanks the minister for, speedy working quick with us. And the whole Blue Economy team, they all stand with us 100%. And
I am excited and at the same time overjoyed with these sort of discussions and the efforts that are taking place and that is happening to transform our industry, to help our industry, to make our industry more prosperous, and to ensure that the livelihoods of the fisher folks across the Tri-Island state is taken care of.
Yes, so that's very good. Kudos. So the government is working with the fisher folks, working with all stakeholders, private and the like, to find solutions. And that is what you need. The NNP, they're complaining, they're negative, they're grinding and groaning. Everything bad, 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 bad news. But the government with the fisher folks, the government with the private sector, the government with stakeholders, finding solutions. That is key. And some people are saying, well, will the NNP continue to talk about the American fish ban and the ban and the ban, the fish, the fish, the fish? They will not stop. The NNP will not stop talk about this, even if the ban is lifted from, Grenada, and we're able to export fish to the United States again. They will still talk about it. They will not stop. That's how they do it. They're negative. We going to continue featuring the positive stuff. In Grenville, they officially commissioned that new basketball court, and that is the way to go. So it's not just in one constituency or one parish. They're developing the facilities and so on. You see, the stadium will be lit for night cricket. The Progress Park was already lit. You can play cricket there, bring your family in the play area. Now, the basketball court, Grandad's basketball court, that was upgraded. Then you have the Grenville basketball court, upgraded now.
Productive. I hope that we use it for good, and I hope that anything on this court is. This is something that we are very, 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 very excited about, right?
There's a safe space where young people learn life lessons that extend far beyond the game. As technical director of the Grenada National Basketball Association, I have seen firsthand the transformative power of structured sport. I've seen how a court like this can nurture talent, provide direction, and even open doors.
When basketball was actually played on the market.
Right, so the court finally was commissioned, and it's really, really modern. And I want to big up the Honorable David Andrew and his team. I want to big up the Honorable Delma Thomas, Ministry of Sports. I think they are doing a fantastic job, and it's not just focusing on St. George.
Basketball in St. Andrews is a big thing, man. Government sincere, and many others. We have Brad Gibbs and many others that passed through, that have looked at, Patrick Simmons, and many others. We have hosted North Islands games here, right?
So you have what it takes, my friends, to make good use of your potential that is inside of you. Don't let the potential sleep. Wake it up. And the building and that beautiful facility is here to wake up that potential in you so that you can utilize it and do great things and bring pride, not just to yourself and to your family, but to your constituents.
There is no limit. Not even the sky is your limit. There is no limit. So repairing courts and lighting fields is just part of the national plan and strategy for our youth and for youth development, to ensure that you have meaningful avenues to engage, that our communities have meaningful spaces to undertake positive things.
Tonight, to see us now having the facility available not only for the young men, but I know the St. Andrew Methodist School, the smaller children also use this facility. And so we are indeed happy to be able to provide this safe space for our children.
This court is more than paint and lines. It's a safe space, it's a mentorship, it's discipline, and it is hope.
Right, folks, again, we want to commend the government of Grenada, and I'm happy to see, as usual, all the MPs and the caretaker for St. Andrew at that event. So you had Dr. Tessa Sincere, she's the caretaker for the NDC in St. Andrew Northeast. Then you had the Honorable Delma Thomas, St. Andrew Northwest, and then you had Southeast and Southwest, the Honorable David Andrew and the Honorable Lennox Andrew. Well, the Honorable Lennox Andrews. All right, so David Andrew and the Honorable Lennox Andrews. So I'm happy for St. Andrew. Very, very happy. Things are happening in St. Andrew, and we all must feel proud of that. At this point, I want to play for you aspects again of the Youth in Agriculture project, where a number of young people graduated, they were trained, now they graduated, given the support to go and utilize the skills attained or gained. Many of them, they're in agro-processing and, they would produce stuff. So I want to play you aspects of that. And again, the Honorable Lennox Andrews is featured in it.
Attention to the screen as you view video testimonials and presentations produced by the beneficiaries themselves, highlighting their journey, their growth, and their experiences throughout this program. Ladies and gentlemen, turn your eyes to the screen.
Hi, my name is Annie Hamilton. I am from the parish of St. Andrews. Lafayette is where I reside. I am currently pursuing a career in agro-processing and resin artistry. I started this journey a few years ago when I did my first class in entrepreneurship training, and I have since then fallen in love with getting to know how natural fruits and herbs help make our lives better, as well as expressing oneself in resin art and the complexity of what this product can bring to our lives.
My name is Misha Alexander. I'm from Canal Road in Grenville. I'm a young and upcoming farmer. I took part in the Youth in Agriculture program, and the area that I studied was livestock.
My name is Gerald Charles. I'm originally from Grenville, St. Andrews, now residing at current St. David's. I'm the proud owner of Fruitify, where we do local juices and CMOS product. I was enrolled in the agro-processing program under the Youth in Agriculture program.
My name is Lyndall Daniel, and I'm under the crop production program in the Youth in Agriculture program.
The experience was good. It was a fun learning experience. We got the opportunity to visit different farms around the island. The area that I enjoyed the most was dealing with pigs. So castrating, giving them injections for various diseases that some of them are susceptible to. So what I like doing, I like castrating and I like giving injections for like mange and stuff.
So my experience was one of a kind. There was a lot of stuff that was taught to us, some things that we took for granted, which we had learned and would also take it and put it into practice. One of the things that stood out to me was the mathematical principles taught by Mr. Henry. It helped me a lot more in proportion and being able to deliver a more diverse product at the end of this.
Participating in the Youth in Agriculture program has been a transformative experience that helped me to build practical farming knowledge, build confidence and see agriculture as a pathway for growth and entrepreneurship. A major highlight was the study tour to Costa Rica, where I visited the ICA headquarters and local farms, gaining valuable exposure to new agricultural practices. I also had the opportunity to build meaningful relationships with other young people who share the same vision and passion for agriculture.
My experience for Youth in Agriculture was quite an exhilarating one. I was able to meet persons from different walks in agriculture, as well as learning the vast knowledge that comes with it. food sustainability is very important for our country and for the youths, and youths are the way to the future. So it was brave, and I would say sometimes a little challenging, because getting into a sector that you don't have any knowledge about can be difficult at times. But with the help of our facilitators, as well as the many people we encountered, it was quite fun.
The most beneficial was under Miss Bartholomew, where we did a lot of practical exercises, where we do stuff like wine making, making of flowers from different vegetables such as sweet potato, plantain, and those other stuff.
I would say I like the practical side of it, getting my hands in and learning how to do dehydrating, in the different temperatures in which foods have to be stored, as well as for hygiene, because hygiene is very important, especially when it comes to food. Learning how to prepare it, how to store it, how to keep things clean, how to spot germs as well is very important, because sometimes you have things there and you think it's okay, but when you use it, you may get sick. So being able to keep that from happening, as well as being able to spot these things, is very important.
The topic that was most beneficial to me throughout the class was the setting up your building to deal with pigs, because this is the area that I am more focused on. So setting up the building, how it's supposed to be built, the different rooms and stuff, the size of the area for the different pigs. So the sow, the bull, whatever, you have different size for different animals.
Dehydrating. I love how the end product is, as well as with dehydrating, I can also use that within my business, as well as for myself personally. It gives you a wide range of things you can do. You can do flour, you can do powder, you can make your own milk, you can make protein powders. You can also use it to make snacks as well for your kids, because now we are trying to get our children to eat a bit more healthy. So getting fruits to last a longer time is difficult, and dehydrating is one way that showed me that I can do this for the long term.
All right, so a skill that I learned throughout the program that is going to benefit me for a long time was the things that we do, well, the biosecurity measures to avoid bringing in or the spread of any diseases throughout the farm. So the procedures or the protocols that you should follow once you have a farm and you're dealing with different animals to avoid the spread of diseases or pests on the farm.
One of those would be from same Ms. Bartholomew's class. Now, in my day-to-day product use, I've been wasting a lot of raw materials, which I was taking for granted. Now, with her whole idea, I can now use those extra raw materials and turn them into jams and jellies.
So my next move is to get started. So I've already started the construction of pig pen, but I'm not 100% there yet. So my next move is to get started, and yeah, that's about it.
So for us now, it's getting to the phase of creating our own production area. As for now, we're doing processing from home. So we want to, at least in the half of the year to come, we start to get this thing rolling and on the road.
After youth in agriculture, I will be diversifying, getting my business started up. So I will be doing 3 different aspects. I'll be doing smoothies, skin and hair care, as well as resin products. Within the smoothies, I'll also be doing dehydrated fruits and vegetables. And the byproducts from that, I will be using it in my skincare and hair care regimen. And I can also use it within the resin products as well. So everything ties into each other.
Overall, the program inspired me strengthened my skills, and motivated me to continue growing and contributing to my community and country through agriculture.
I would like to say thanks to the friends that I've made during the class period, and to the facilitators, because going in there we were able to learn a lot of things that we were not aware of. So I think going forward, myself and my colleagues, we would be able to eliminate the spread, well, not completely eliminate, but lessen it down, the spread of certain diseases and pests and stuff, because we have an idea of what we should and should not do.
I must say thanks to the Youth in Agriculture for giving us this opportunity. It had helped shape and mold us a lot. The CDF, the facilitators, big thanks to God as well, because without God, none of this is, reaching the limit of where we want to reach.
Yeah, I believe the Youth in Agriculture is a great initiative that should be continued. It is a door opener for a lot of individuals, especially those who would like to get into agriculture. Agriculture is not only for farming and planting. There's a lot of different things that can be done within the agriculture industry, and food sustainability is the way for Grenada to grow and expand, as well as to bring revenue for the country as well. So I think that everybody should take a chance, even though if you want to do a little backyard gardening or it's like a little hobby you want to do on the side, it's something you should get into.
Informative, eye-opening, practical, exposure to new agricultural practices, inspirational, networking opportunity, and the call for Youth in Agriculture 2.0. I think that summarized it, right? Thank you, beneficiaries rather, for sharing your stories. And I think watching the video, it kind of dawned on me that this is a true reflection of what we want from youth in agriculture when we talk about transforming agriculture. And I want to encourage you that you leaving here, you are an ambassador to what youth in agriculture can look like. You have a responsibility to advocate for more opportunities like this for your peers. You have a responsibility to be role models for other persons who might be interested, but they might be thinking that agriculture is just mud and this and had, backbreaking work, etc. You have a responsibility to take everything that you have learned, all the opportunities that you have gained, and go out and be ambassadors, be mentors, be inspiring for other persons who may be looking up to you because they're thinking, you know what, agriculture ain't that bad after all. Yeah? As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome remarks from a champion of national development and agricultural transformation. Please join me in welcoming Honorable Lennox Andrews, Minister for Economic Development, Planning, Agriculture and Lands, Forestry, Blue Economy, Marine Resources, and Cooperatives. Honorable Minister Andrews.
Thank you very much indeed, Ms. Perryman, for such pleasant and welcoming vocabulary. Dr. Kimoy Edward, Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada National Trading Agency. Mr. Royston Cumberbatch, General Manager for Grenada Development Bank. Ms. Keisha Michel, Senior Vice President and Vice President of Business Development and Team. Mr. Kyron Corsdale, President and CEO of Grenada Chicken Farm, our guest speaker. Members of the Chinese Mission in Grenada. Senior management of the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands. Ms. Alice Jones, 4-H Coordinator, Ministry of Agriculture and Lands. Mr. Samuel Alexander, Implementation Officer, Ministry of Implementation and Planning. Members of the Steering Committee, staff of the Ministry of Agriculture, staff of the Grenada National Trading Agency, Mr. Abraham, principal of our TAMCC, graduates, invited guests, the PR unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, and other media houses. So obviously it's a wonderful feeling, and it's a pleasant sight to see so many of you present here in red, graduates or graduates. I suppose red is the color for agriculture. So I suppose if I have to give agriculture a color, I'll have to give it the color red. But I want to thank you for demonstrating tolerance and commitment and having graduated with outstanding marks. And I get a sense from the gathering that many of your parents are here with you to celebrate your achievement with you. So parents, thanks for supporting your children.
Yes, so that's the Honorable Lennox Andrews there. And, you know, young people, they entered the program, they received training, they're now equipped to go out there and be ambassadors in agriculture, maybe they in agro-processing, maybe they in actual, you know, maybe animal husbandry, crop production, and we wish them all the best. But that is what development looks like. Genuine development, long-term development. You know, during the NNP time, it was just Imani, 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 Imani. But now you're hearing about digital workforce initiative or training in cyber security, data analysis, ICT generally, right? Information communication technology. You're hearing about youth in agriculture, or women in agriculture. You're hearing about Elevate Her, and we can go on and on and on. It's different now. If you listen to these young people, you can rest assured Grenada's future is bright, and Grenada is on the right path to genuine development. Because you want young people to be wowed or excited about agriculture and to see agriculture from different angles. As the youth coordinator said there, it's not just playing in mud or brickbat work. There are a lot of aspects that could be all exciting and rewarding. So again, that's the way to go. I want to commend the government of Grenada, the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team, the Honorable David Andrews, the Honorable Lennox Andrews, and we can go on and on and on. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Keep it up. I want to say something here. The NNP, and for those who believe that the NNP supporters, pundits, surrogates, and so on are interested in real information or factual information, the NNP, historically, their supporters, they are not interested in factual information. They love to spread misinformation. They love that. In fact, some of them would boast, saying to you that they don't listen to the news. They don't listen to press conferences. Many of them who talk about the fish ban that the United States imposed on Grenada, they would not listen to the press conference, or they did not listen to that press conference yesterday. They have no interest in that. All they want to hear is bad stories, bad news, and they run with that bad information. When the good news comes out, they don't want to be around that. They don't want to hear it. So they don't listen to it. They don't research. They don't find out factual. They're not interested in those things. And that is the dangerous part. So you hear them talk, but they're empty. They lack substance. It's just like Perry, for example, as a guy who speaks aloud and comes across as a opposition element, not saying that he's a part of the NNP or a member of the NNP. I'm not saying that. But when he speaks, you have to then correct him and say, what you're saying is nonsense. It's incorrect. It's not factual. And then we'll say, well, let's forget it and let's move to something else. And then he continues some kind of, that's how they operate. But I'm saying here, do not expect those who hate the government to be interested in factual information. They don't like factual information. You cannot educate them on anything. You can't. And if you start speaking, then they would cut you and they would jump to something else. That's how they have always done it. That is how they always function. And one has to be knowledgeable of that. All right? It has to be a situation where you understand. Boy, that's how these people function. And get to understand it now. They don't like factual stuff. They don't like factual information. If you start educating them on anything, they would cuss you. They would be angry with you. They would be pissed. When they call programs, they lack knowledge. They lack knowledge. But they like sensationalism. They like drama. They like to spread misinformation. So a number of folks called me or messaged me and say, hey, well, I hear the chairman of Lotto resign. And I then turn around and say to them, I say, or colloquially speaking, I say, well, that's surprising. That surprised you? Because for many years, we have had chairpersons or chairman for many different boards. And some resign, some, continue until government change, and then you have a new person taking over. That's not surprising. Why that should be a big thing, that a chairman of a board resigning? Well, chairman of boards resign every damn day all around the world. So what? What would that do for you? How would that change your life? That's important. Okay, William resigned from a board. How would that change your life or your family or your community? They would just get another person to chair the board and move on. You remember there was a time NNP used to say only Keith could run this place? Remember there was a time NNP used to say that? Only Keith this and only Keith that. But Keith Mitchell is not in power. He's no longer in power. And the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, he's prime minister. He has been prime minister for the last 3 years and a half, going on to 4 years. And Grenada still continues to, be governed, and opportunities continue to come to our people. So this whole idea that one person could run something, or if one person resigns or is no longer there, then the whole thing crashes. I'm saying, folks, take out this dunceness in your brain. Just take it out. Who cares? You have people who are going to chair boards and they're going to be removed, or they're going to resign, or who cares? What would that bring to you? But you see, the NNP, they want that. That is what they want to run with. That is what they want me and you to be talking about. Not the fishing, the opportunities for the fisher folks, the long line, tuna boats, and, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about these young people who graduated, youth in agriculture, youth doing good things. They are not interested in that. No, they don't want to talk about positive things in this country. They like gossip, rumors, scandal. That's all they're interested in. That's all. And then the newspaper would have on the front page, chairman of lotteries. Who the ass cares about that? Excuse me, French. Who cares about these things? We are not interested in that. Grenadians want opportunities and betterment. Why we were not seeing those things when Ekram J. Miller came in Grenada and conned the NNP administration of 20-something to 30-something $1 million? Why we didn't see on the front page the shrimp farm where those white men come and con the NNP administration of $52.4 million? Why we didn't see that same thing with Livera when we had some con men some years and years and years ago who con the NNP administration? Why we didn't see all of those things? Why? But all of a sudden, these little things of somebody resigning from a damn board becomes an issue. Who cares? You care about that? Well, then you have a problem. You have a problem. But that is what the NNP wants. They want us to major in minors. We have bigger things to study about. Opportunities are coming to our people, and we must embrace it. We got to embrace it. So any little thing now, they grabbing at the NNP. They're like some yard fowls. You throw things out in the yard and they picking and choose and they cherry picking and they're like yard fowls, political yard fowls. But we, the Grenadian people, are smarter. If you look at anything that the media put out with NNP, people are going under it and they're commenting. Look at MTV put something out with cost of living with Emlyn and all. 200 and something comments. 99% of them are negative against the NNP and against Emlyn and so on. So you see, Grenadians are getting the message. We have to remain positive and remain focused. The NNP, they complain, they grind, they groan, they complain too damn much. They complain too much. Folks, in New York, remember I told you about this event? I saw the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell, our beloved Prime Minister, he posted on his page, reminding you and saying to you, hey, get your tickets. Pick up your tickets early. We will be in New York. Kem Jones will be there too. I will be in New York attending this event. The Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell is the keynote speaker at this event. It will be a elegant evening experience. A lot of artists, a lot of food, drinks. It would be really, really good. All right. In fact, I heard people saying we need to get a bigger place. So the organizers need to get a bigger venue. But I'm saying to you, get your tickets early. So the early tickets, it's $250 US as the early tickets. So the cost of the early tickets, early birds, as they would say, early bird tickets, $250 US. But that price will go up as it gets closer. So earlier you buy your tickets is better for you. So go to FET, something bright. Well, Eventbrite, I think you can go to Eventbrite too and get your tickets there. So tickets are available. So buy up your tickets. It's May the 16th. All right. It's Brooklyn, New York, the Arches, 1394 St. John's Place, 11213. So buy up your tickets early. So at least you pay the $250 US now, because later it will be more. So I want to encourage you. You go to FET, you can get it there. Eventbrite, you can get it there. So please buy up your tickets. This is a very important event. The Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell will be there to have a wonderful time with you. And I will be there too. I will be there at this event, and quite a number of artists will be at this event. Quite a number of artists will be there. I know Mr. Killer, I think Terror the Governor might be there. Alpha Band, I think, might be there too. Alive Green Indian Band. Alpha One Band, I think that's the name. Quite a number of artists. It's a big thing, big event. So please get your tickets early. The early birds, it's $250. All right. So, folks, I want to wish you all the best. Take good care. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub. Bye for now. Bye for now.